Good afternoon, everyone. Mariposa here. Today I'm going to roast a chicken, and I wanted to start off by showing you the first thing I do before I roast a chicken. What I do is I take a non-salted stick of butter and I season it with herbs and spices. Then I let it sit and kind of absorb all that flavor for about an hour before I then go in and do all the things I need to do to make that roasted chicken very special. Another thing I want to tell you all real quick is that everything that I do here, none of it is scripted. It's just kind of me coming in front of you. So when I do have my mess ups, it's just because for the most part I'm just winging it. But I'm having a good time. It's a Sunday afternoon. And one other thing that I wanted to share with you all is that it's a special day for me because 2 years ago today, Sunday, October the 7th, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, metastatic, invasive, blah, 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 whatever. I'm here today, 2 years later, and I'm happy to be cooking and to be sharing these wonderful things that just make life awesome. So let's go ahead and get started real quick. Okay, so these are the spices that I use. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can tell you. But we've got sage, thyme, onion powder, parsley, rosemary, paprika, garlic powder, some kosher salt, and some celery salt. I add all of these things to a softened stick of butter, and then I use my pastry cutter. This is what I use when I make my tortillas, you know. So yes, this is not a Mexican dish today. First of all, it is a teaspoon of sage, a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of parsley, half a teaspoon of rosemary, 2 teaspoons, a teaspoon and a half of paprika, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, a teaspoon of kosher salt, and a teaspoon of celery salt. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll take all of this and I will add it to this softened stick of butter. Just kind of put that all on top. And then I take my pastry cutter and I just kind of start blending everything in. And it's a little bit of a process, but I tell you what, this is so worth it. This is what you're going to use to season your chicken on the inside and out. Now, this process you're looking at is something that I kind of came up with over the years of looking at recipes and going, you know, these are the things that make a chicken good, a turkey good, whatever. By the way, I do the same thing with turkey as well, along with a couple other things, but we'll talk about that later, closer to the holidays. Because yes, I think it's finally time that I share with you my Thanksgiving recipes. But anyway, they kept talking about all these things you need to use with your turkey, and I just thought, why don't I just combine everything in advance, you know, into my butter that I use to help season and moisturize my chicken, you know. So I just thought, let me do this, combine it all, and then let it sit and kind of saturate itself for about an hour or so. And then I put it in my chicken all together instead of just kind of trying to sprinkle or apply everything in individually. But I'll tell you what, you can make this in advance and keep it in the fridge. Make a couple of sticks of this. This is not only good for this, but you can modify it a little bit and use it to season bread if you're going to, you know, make some kind of a seasoned garlic bread or something. It's for, gosh, any poultry at all that you want to use. Not only that, as it's cooking, all of these flavors, you know, they drip out of the chicken or whatever bird you're roasting, and they make the most awesome gravy. I know, gravy, it's fat and whatnot, but oh my gosh, when you add it to everything else, it is just so absolutely wonderful. So I'm using wax paper here, folks, and now that I've got everything blended, I'm just going to go ahead and seal it up. mariposa back. So now we're going to go ahead and move forward with seasoning the chicken and getting everything ready. So what I've done is, this is about a 6.5 pound chicken, and I've completely and utterly dried it. I mean, it's sitting here, this thing is dry. Okay, and here's my butter. It's seasoned and it's wonderful. And what I've done here is I've cut up 3 lemons and a head of garlic, and I had a couple on the side extra, so I cut those up too. They have all the skin on them, and 1 medium onion. So definitely what we need to do is season the cavity of your chicken first. So I'll get some kosher salt, and I'm going to season the cavity. Now you want to go ahead and be kind of generous with this. This is where, you know, everything gets seasoned as well as it can, you know. So then I'm going to grab just like a handful of onion. We're going to go ahead and just dump that in there. Then I'm going to grab a scoop of this wonderful butter. I'm going to stick that in there, okay, there. I'm going to grab a handful of lemons. Then put half of your head of garlic. The bigger the head of garlic you can find, the better. And if there's room for more, just put some more in there, okay? Put that in there. I'll put another lemon in there. Okay, so then I'm going to make myself some space here underneath the skin. So I'm sticking my finger in just to kind of pull out those little barriers that hold the skin next to the breast meat and all the chicken meat and all that stuff. So I'm making myself some space. So I'm just kind of putting my hand in there and creating space. Then you get this wonderful butter. And I'm going to tell you, by the time you pull it out of the refrigerator and kind of let it soften once again. Oops. It smells so wonderful. If you've been touching the chicken, please don't taste it. Taste it beforehand. Anyway, it's wonderful. You're going to put that big glob in, and what you're going to do is through the skin, you're going to make sure you spread it. And then you want to go ahead and start adding some. Now remember, this chicken, I dried it. The skin has been dried. So I can now add all of this to the skin on the outside. See how it's sticking? It's wonderful. Now you see this wing right here? I'm going to get this wing and I am going to fold it underneath here. Don't worry, it will not hurt the chicken. Anyway, and then you're going to go ahead and put the other wing underneath this other side like this, okay? This just helps create an even cooking area for all the goodness that you're spreading to your chicken. And add some to the back. Yes, absolutely, we're going to add some to the back. Okay, so you see how these are folded, right? You can go one of 2 ways. I'm going at 425 degrees because I like the skin of my chicken to remain crispy, okay? So when it's cooking, it's going to be crispy. Now, if you want it to be juicier, but you're going to have a softer skin, then you want to go ahead and cook it at about 365. You know, you can go anywhere between 350, 375. You can do your research, you know. I think I did about 365 until I started realizing how much I loved it at 425. So we're going to do that. Okay, everyone. So I'm back, and I'm going to add, now that I've got all the butter and all this wonderful goodness going on here, I'm going to still add just a little bit of olive oil, and it's just to help the crisp. And I'm really talking just a little bit, and you'll see why. So I'm adding a little bit here, and I'm just kind of, I'm going to leave it with the olive oil. So I spread it around real quick, and then what we're going to do is get the paprika. The paprika is not only going to add a world of flavor, but it's going to add the most beautiful golden color. If you ever wondered why you see these chickens on these cooking shows that have this beautiful golden color, well, when I first started cooking these, I was like, why aren't mine beautiful and red and golden? Well, the trick is because they put paprika on the outside, but they don't tell you that. It's like one of those hidden things that, you know, you have to discover on your own. Well, I discovered it. And now I'm gonna add, most importantly, the kosher salt. Now you can say, Emma, you added salt to the butter and you put butter on the outside, butter on the inside. Yes, but the salt helps your crust get that crispiness that you're looking for, if that's what you're looking for. But it adds flavor. And you know what? This is a chicken. It needs all the help it can get. It really does. And you will not regret this. Besides, this all, again, is going to help in the end, in the long run, okay? And I'm going to get the rest of these ingredients, which is the other half of this garlic thing, this head of garlic that I cut. I'm just gonna throw that in there, along with the rest of the lemon and the onion. I used some string, kind of tied that up, and I'm going to cross my legs. Now, if you're asking and wondering, why do we have to do this? Okay, the reason we do this is to help, again, add to our chicken cooking evenly. Okay, so if everything is kind of set in a symmetrical pattern and or whatnot, this really just helps it cook evenly, and that's what you want to do when you're cooking. We're going to be doing some basting in between, but it's going to go into the oven for 30 minutes straight for certain right now. Again, it's a 6.5 pound chicken, 20 minutes per pound. So, I wish you could smell all the scents that are here at this moment, the aromas of the spices, the butter, the herbs, everything is just absolutely wonderful. The onions that get involved, all of this flavor goodness will go into your gravy as well. So we're going to stick it in the oven right now. And we're going to come back and we're going to be progressing, and we're going to be basting, and we're going to be doing all that wonderful goodness, okay? So we're about 30 minutes into this chicken, and as you can see here, you might be going, hey Emma, there's not a lot of juices to be basting, but there's enough. The thing is that you've got to just start, and we're about 30 minutes in, and trust me, they are going to come along. They might not be here right now, but they will be. So I've still got to do my due diligence as a cook, you know, and I'm bringing the juices that are there down, because we do have to start basting. We've just got to start making this little bird ready for the dance. We've got to make her pretty. I wish you could be here right now, but one day y'all are going to try this, and it's just going to be so worth it and so wonderful. And when you share it with your families, because to me the most important thing is that we create these beautiful and wonderful meals that in the end we share them with our families, and that moment becomes a memory. And for those of you who are young parents out there, whether you're a mother or a father, it doesn't have to be just a female. I've got bread warming up over here. But we're creating memories for our kiddos, so that when they do leave us, because mine have left me, they call back and go, Mama, what are you doing today? Like on a Sunday. And I go, oh, I'm roasting a chicken. I'm doing this and then. And they go, oh, I remember that. I can't wait. I need to get back so that this can happen again, or I can introduce my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my friends to your cooking. So believe me, all of this effort is so worth it. Hi everyone, Mariposa back. Here's the roasted chicken. I'm so excited because it smells to die for. I've done that thing where you get this thing I've been basting it with, this silicone baster, and you taste that and you're like, oh my gosh, is this what my chicken is going to taste like? So I just took this out of the oven, you know, and I'm giving it its final baste. We baked it at 425 for 20 minutes a pound. It is wonderful. It tastes so good. I'm just giving it a final baste. So once you get it out of the oven, make sure you insert a thermometer. Double check the temperature. It should be 165 in between the leg, your drumstick, and your inner part of the cavity. 165. And then when you get it out of the oven, though, you've got to let it rest for 10 minutes, okay? Roasted broccoli on the side. This was a really simple thing that can cook alongside your chicken. This is broccoli with equal parts of butter and olive oil, and then I sprinkle it with garlic salt and some paprika, and you roast it for 10 minutes. I mean, I'm doing this at 425 along with the chicken. So 10 minutes, toss it, 10 more minutes, toss it again, bring it out, and it's just wonderful. It's cooked perfectly. If you're gonna do it just solo, you can do 400 degrees, but oh my God. It is so good because the broccoli still holds that little bit of freshness, but it's completely cooked. The seasoning is just perfect. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy this recipe. Please give me your feedback, and Claudia, I hope you get to try this. I hope you enjoy this. Please let me know if you have any questions, because my sister Terry, if you were here right now, you'd see her on the other side of the phone really trying to distract me, and I'm not going to let that happen. You can hear her laughing in the background. Anyway, Claudia, this is for you again. Enjoy the recipe. Let me know if you guys try it. Let me know how it goes. Love to cook and cook with love. This is Mariposa's Kitchen. Y'all have a wonderful evening.